There it is.
Okay. Hi everybody. Everybody keeps sending me the thing how to do the landscape, and no matter what I do, I put a mask and feathers in my hair. I mean, I have no idea. Anyway, still sick, but I thought I'd come on and just quickly talk to you about how to roast a pumpkin. I'm in my test kitchen. I got my new KitchenAid today, so I've been playing. I did some salted caramel. Let me grab one. I did some salted caramel pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. I have to say they're pretty good. So, with me in the test kitchen, I have to eat them, darn. But what really makes a difference in your pumpkin pies, cookies, cakes, everything is using real pumpkin. Out of convenience, I've done the pumpkin pack, trust me. But this is the way to go. So when I went to Riley's Farms, if you saw my videos at Riley's Farms, they gifted me some beautiful pumpkins. And so I wanted to quickly go through how to do this. It's very simple. It's a little bit of arm work involved, but it results in such an amazing homemade pumpkin pack. So I just pureed this. It isn't quite settled in the jar yet. And my friend Veronica Cortez came on and she did some pumpkin pie recipes. So if you missed that, go onto my Foodie Princess YouTube channel, and her version of pumpkin pie is on there. And I want you guys to look at it because what I really like about her pumpkin pie is that she cooks everything in a saucepan and blends all the flavors together. I've got caramel in my teeth. Salted caramel. She blends everything together, and we did use pumpkin pack. We discussed it beforehand. We both agreed that fresh pumpkin is better, but for saving time, we just did pumpkin pack, figuring most people probably just have a can in the cabinet. But she also had this great KitchenAid. I don't know if you guys, this little pulsing thing, so I had to get one too. And so what I'm going to teach you is just really quickly, I'm going to try and go through the steps. I had planned to do this with you guys like last week, but I was so sick, and I had one completely done for you so I could show you step by step. But I had absolutely no voice. So it is what it is. So this is the last of my pumpkins from Riley's Farm. This is a Cinderella pumpkin, hence that it looks like a Cinderella carriage. You do not want to use the jack-o'-lanterns that you carve from Halloween. First of all, they're probably moldy and there's like spiders growing inside. But even if you didn't carve them, those are not pumpkins that were developed for eating. They were developed to be very hollow, very thin skin, and easily to carve, and that's the whole purpose of them. These pumpkins are very meaty, and they have a very dense interior. So a sweet pumpkin, you'll see them, they call them pumpkin pie pumpkins, a pie pumpkin, or a Cinderella pumpkin. Those are my favorites to use. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna preheat your oven for about 375. Very simple. You're gonna start carving into your pumpkin, and I just kind of took the lid off and took out the seeds. And inside these, they're not super gooey. There's a little bit in there, but not a lot. And of course you want to, scrape it out. It's a little bit of work, but there's not so much gunk in here as the other type of pumpkins, okay? There's a lot more dense meat, if you will, inside here. And you can roast these seeds. They're delicious. It's totally up to you. I'm lazy. I tend to just throw them away, but I'll give this to my kids, and if they want to pick through them and roast them, they're delicious if you guys want to do pumpkin seeds. So you just want to kind of get like a slotted spoon or something and just get in there. It's not as hard as you would think, but you want to get all this stringy goo. And again, they're not as stringy as the pumpkins that you do and that you carve for Halloween, okay? So I always have a bowl handy for just the garbage, and I just dump it out. And there's still some in there, but there's not a lot. You want to get most of it. And you want to have a couple cookie sheets ready. And I put, you can put parchment on there, or you can do Silpat. And Silpat is just these liners that go on here. And what happens is they just help your cleanup. They're so much easier. They really keep things, when you're done, the cleanup portion really so much nicer. So I don't know if you guys were following me on Facebook today, but we went to March Air Force Base to go shopping at the commissary. And before the commissary, we went to the BX, which is the exchange. And it's kind of like, depends on what base you're at. It's not an active base. So the store it's not like, other bases have more developed stores, if you put it this way. So we go in there, and my husband sees this lady coming out with this giant TV, and I'm like, I said, oh wow, they must have TVs on sale. So I'm like shopping at the clothes, I'm looking at some Lucky jeans and a Michael Kors top, and I get this text from my husband, and he's like, can I get a TV? And I'm like, I guess. Well, I don't hear anything from him. I'm walking through the store, I'm trying to find him. All of a sudden he says, yeah, I bought the TV, it's in the car, and I'm gonna have to go home. And I'm like, you're leaving me here? Are you serious? So yeah, that's what happened. He left me, he took my daughter, and my son and I stayed and went to the commissary, which is the grocery store portion of the shopping venture, and he ran it home because it was so big. Kind of funny. Anyway, afterwards when we got done, we dropped everything off, and then he said, you know what? Let's go to Bed Bath & Beyond because they were doing a special for military veterans that you can have 25% off everything in the store. So I said, let's go get my KitchenAid because it's like $600. So we went to Bed Bath & Beyond and I got my new KitchenAid. So it worked out. We have a giant TV. I have no idea where we're putting it, and now we have this giant KitchenAid. But I do know what I will be doing with that. Okay, so I got all the goo out, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this. And it's not that thick. It's kind of like a spaghetti squash, you know what I mean? Just find a knife, and you're just gonna kind of hack away at it, you know? It's nothing that has to be too perfect. I've got it cut in half. This one's not so big, so I'm just gonna put it in half, put it down with this part down, because what will happen is it will kind of steam. Okay, can you see it on my cookie sheet? Just like that. I'm gonna pop it in the oven for like almost an hour, like about 45 minutes to an hour at 375. I'm looking for, obviously, to be super fork tender. I even want it to be a little caramelized, you know, a little bit darker on the edges. When it comes out, I'm gonna let it cool, obviously, and I'll probably cut it in a couple pieces again, just to make it a little bit more manageable. It will literally, the flesh will separate from the peel. Super easy. You can use a spoon, you can use your hands. I just wait till it's cool, and I literally just use my hands. Put it into a bowl. What you wanna do is you wanna get cheesecloth, and I had some here, but I threw it away because it got dirty. But you wanna take cheesecloth, if you know what that is, or an old like linen kitchen towel that's clean, and you wanna put the flesh inside of that, or in a very fine strainer. That would work as well. And you wanna let that just sit in the sink or over a bowl and let it weep for about 2 hours. There's a lot of moisture inside there that's going to be released. If you ever cooked with zucchini or eggplant, you know what I'm talking about, how the flesh is kind of like, it's watery. So you wanna kind of let it, you know, weep out a little bit. I take the cheesecloth inside my strainer. That's what I do. You don't have to do that. And I just, you know, kind of line the strainer with the cheesecloth, put the flesh in there and just let it sit in the sink over a bowl. Come back, and then I fold the cheesecloth over and twist it and kind of wring it out, if you know what I'm talking about. And again, I had this all done to show you, but I got sick. So once you're done with that, and you can let it sit in there for hours if you want to. When you're done, you're gonna scoop it into like a, you have a blender or a food processor, and you're just gonna pulse it until it's, you know, it's thick. You don't wanna add water. Do not add water to this. You want it to be thick. And then when it's done, it's this kind of baby food consistency. Open wide, gaga. It's perfect. Pancakes, pumpkin pie, of course, pumpkin cookies. I freeze it. I'll take it in little containers. I had one here. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. I give it to my friends, you know, because I'm going to have a lot. So, Veronica, I know I told you if you wanted some pumpkin, come get it. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna put it in my freezer. It freezes for a couple months. Refrigerator, it'll stay for a couple weeks. And it's perfect for your pumpkin pies. I made pumpkin pancakes this morning. I mean, just a dollop, you know, and anything. Even shakes, you know, if you wanna do pumpkin shakes or, you know, lattes and stuff, it's so good. So you're gonna put that in there and you're gonna freeze it and it stays good and it's perfect, okay? So if you have any questions on how to roast it, you're gonna cut it. You're gonna go ahead and take the seeds out and the goo. You're gonna cut it in half or cut it in 5 pieces if you had to. I had a ginormous pumpkin and I had to hack that sucker apart. Whatever it takes. And then you're gonna put it on a baking sheet. If you have parchment, you can use that. Silpat, whatever works. You're gonna pop it in the oven about 375 for about an hour, okay? Let it get nice and soft. Pull it out and just let it sit on your counter till it's really cool to the touch. Then you're gonna take your hand, you're gonna literally just scoop it off the skin. The flesh will separate so easy. Put it into a strainer, lined with cheesecloth if you can, or an old clean tea towel, and a tea towel is more like linen if you know, you don't want like a fuzzy towel. And then just kind of lay it on there and then put it inside the strainer. Let it just sit there for like an hour at least to 2 hours. Then when you're done, you're just going to kind of squeeze it out and it's ready to puree. You're just going to keep pulsing it until it's pureed. Do not add water to it. You want it thick. And then it's good to go. It's ready for your pumpkin pie. It's delicious. There's so many recipes, and I'll be coming up with a few more to kind of give you guys, and I'll probably do these cookies for you in a day or two. You know, I'm kind of tweaking the recipe. I've always made these pumpkin chocolate chip cookies for my kids, and then I thought, well, what about if I made some caramel? Like took some caramels and melted those and add some cream to that, and then I drizzled that. I'm like, well, that's kind of pretty. And then I thought, well, what about flaky salted caramel? You know, so I'm playing with it, but don't be afraid to experiment. This is the season of pumpkin. You know, Thanksgiving's coming, pumpkin bread, whatever you want to make, this is your go-to. It's so much better and so much cheaper than getting the canned stuff. And the canned stuff is great in a bind, but this is what takes your dessert like over the top. So again, go to the Foodie Princess YouTube, look for Veronica Cortez's pumpkin pie recipe. Her crust was flaky and amazing. We did boozy whipped cream, where we taught you how to take Fireball or salted caramel, Bailey's, or Kahlua, or whatever you like, and infuse it into your whipped cream. So lots of fun ideas on there to take your Thanksgiving dessert up a notch. But definitely do your own pumpkin puree. Your family will love it, and if you've always done canned pumpkin, this will really open your eyes to the flavors of how great pumpkin can taste, especially when you're oven roasting it. It gets sweeter, it kind of caramelizes a little bit, and you eat it and you're just like, this tastes nothing like the pumpkin that I've been buying all these years. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be feeling better. I want to make, my family has requested 2 dishes this week, and I'm hoping to get them done. Beef stroganoff is something that my daughter loves, and I was going to make a Hungarian goulash. So I'm hoping to get those things done, maybe some things tomorrow. I've got some sourdough bread things I need to do this week as well. So I'm praying and hoping that I get better. I'm still kind of slurpy. I'm out of breath, if you can tell when I'm talking. Still really stuffed up. This cold has really kicked my butt. So I'm working on getting better. I don't want to be slurpy when I'm trying to do a video about food. I know that's not attractive. So, but I wanted to get this pumpkin done and teach you how to do it so you know how to do it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments or send me a message. A nice message, not a creepy message, please. I have to admit I'm a little nervous about opening my messages right now, but send me a message if you have a question about the pumpkin roasting and any other questions about whatever's going on. And I hope you guys have a great evening, and I hope you do not have this cold, because this sucks. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.